Energy bills are astronomical, and it's insane to think how much they've shot up in the past year. It's no wonder that people are struggling to pay their Eon energy bills. I'm always wearing my coat inside and actively avoiding putting the heating on if I'm alone in the house. But that's not a practical solution for everyone, especially people like my 90-year-old grandma or people with really young children. If you're finding it tough to keep up with your Eon bills, you're not alone. There is something called a hardship fund, but there is a strict eligibility criteria and it isn't accessible for everyone. It's called the Eon Next Energy Fund on the Eon website. If you've fallen into debt with Eon, on their website there's a struggling to pay section, which I'll leave in the description for you. They run through various schemes that they have in place to help customers that are struggling. At the bottom of that page, there's a number to call to discuss your bills. If you call or email Eon, they must take into consideration how much you can afford to pay. Be open with them about your finances and outgoings. If you're on benefits, there's something called the Fuel Direct scheme. A fixed amount is taken from your benefits to cover what you owe, plus an extra amount for your current use. You'll qualify for it if you're on income-based job seekers allowance, income support, income-related employment and support allowance, pension credit, or universal credit. Please be aware that if you get a knock on the door, it could be an energy bill scammer. Remember, you don't have to open the door to everyone, but if you do and they claim to be from Eon, always ask them for documented ID. If they claim to be a bailiff, then it's definitely a scam because the debt from energy bills are passed to debt collectors and they're two different entities. If you've found yourself in debt and you feel a bit overwhelmed, there are options available to you if you're struggling financially. I'll run through some of these with you now. These solutions aren't all suitable for everyone, but you may find that one or two of them work well for you. I'll quickly explain them to you. First up, debt management plans. They're an informal agreement that you make with the creditors to pay back your debts at a lower, more affordable rate. Normally that means paying less each month, but over a longer time frame. Sadly, energy debt like yours with Eon can't be included, but you can use them for things like credit card debt. Next is debt relief orders. They freeze your debt payments for a full year, and then if your situation hasn't changed after 12 months, the debt's written off. You can't own anything with significant value like a house or have more than £2,000 in savings though. Another option is offering a final settlement. If you happen to have access to a large lump sum, you can offer that to the creditors. Even if it's not for the full amount you owe, they may be willing to accept it to save them time. Equally though, it may be refused. Individual voluntary arrangements are another way to deal with your debt. It's a formal agreement between you and your creditors to reduce your payments to one simple payment each month. It lasts for 5 years and at the end, any remaining debt's written off. Bankruptcy is probably the most famous option. You may already know, but with bankruptcy, all your assets are reviewed and some may be sold off to pay back your debt. After a year, any remaining debt will be written off. When debts mount up, it's overwhelming, but it's best not to ignore them or it'll just get worse. One simple step that you could take today is to find out if any of the debt solutions that I mentioned could work for you. In the description of this video, I've linked to a form on my new website. It's got a few multiple choice questions like how much debt do you owe and how many people do you owe? At the end of the form, it'll connect you to a company that I've partnered with to provide you with all the information you need about debt solutions that are available. Click the link in the description, go and check it out and let me know how you get on.